Hello and welcome to 10 Very Big Books, a Malazan read-through podcast. I'm your host today. My name's Joshua Baker. With me today are a couple goofballs and one very serious person. We're going to start off with goofball number one. That's right, folks. It's Peter Bond.
Woo! Close one, baby. Glad I'm not serious. Josh, how you doing today? Last one for you. A long time no pod. Been for a month, us not being on mic. Got a lot of energy over here. Hyped up.
Pretty hype. This is my last time hosting. My school year's about to end, really just riding high right now. Not riding high though, as high though as our next host. That's right. Exhale, and it's India Jones.
It's me. Hi. I'm high. It's me. So glad to be here. Actually, 1 month, exactly. Almost. Well, 1 month.
Pretty sure. I think
one day short is the 15th.
Also, I just want to say happy birthday to everyone. This whole podcast significally older and wiser.
Oh my God.
Okay.
We all had our birthdays in that month.
I think everyone on this podcast aged
Fuck,
in the
between the last birthday. Fuck, I knew I forgot something.
Live on mic, Josh getting caught.
Damn it, I always text you on your birthday.
And I'm AJ Fileri. So
AJ, not yet.
Now for our serious, stern little mister. That's right, it's AJ Fileri.
Great.
Coming in it will suit and tie. Well, business guy.
Serious.
Josh, speaking of business,
serious.
I can't help but notice, Josh, that you didn't toss the nickname in there.
Oh no, I'm introducing myself last. And last but not least.
I believe you said I'm Josh Baker to begin. Okay, continue.
Last but not least, rounding out the pod, it's the Tog to India's Fandaray, the Gunthmak to AJ's Sag Charak, the Hubat to Peter's Ersto, the Emperor of Short Kings, your boy Joshua Dean Baker.
Josh Baker.
Solid nickname. Thank you, Graham.
Yes, thank you, Graham, so
Great
much.
Nickname.
The Tog to my Fenderay. So beautiful.
Also, I don't want to
beautiful.
I don't want to actually Graham's $10, but it would actually be the Hubat to Peter's Pinasol, I believe.
No, but his name's Hubat Erst.
It's Ersto Hubat and Pinasol.
Is it really?
Yeah. Anyway.
I don't have.
I just want to say, Graham, I would never do that to you. Okay, I would never treat you.
The minor gods in Letherus?
Yes, he's the one in the end of
with his wife.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. That's
Thank
nice.
you. Yeah. Anyway, Graham, thank you so much, and thank you to everybody else who supports us on Patreon as well.
Oh my gosh, we're here, baby.
We are in our final 2 episodes of the show.
Yeah.
Today we're doing chapters 21 and 22, and next episode, which we record live at AJ's house.
Yeah.
Let me get the address ready.
Well, if you say the town I live in, Josh, that's like there's like
Penn Avenue. What?
There's like 100 people in the town I live in, so if you say the town, that is a sufficient enough dox.
It's doxing. They just have to look up which person has the only big internet connection bill.
Yes. Oh my God.
But yeah, one more episode recorded live, and then we close the podcast and every episode's wiped from existence. You heard it here first, folks. You better listen now.
We're obliterating the feed.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
We're gonna Carabas this feed.
We're gonna delete. We're gonna
Carabas Italian restaurant this feed. What?
Yeah. No, Carabas the Otateral Dragon. You remember, Josh?
No, I know.
You remember
from the Malazan Book of the Fallen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Shall we do it?
Let's do it, baby. I'm so amped up.
Let's do it, baby. Yeah.
All right. Away we go. Chapter 21. Cotillion reflects on a warning from Edgewalker and senses chaos nearing closer to the Warren of Shadow. Shadowthrone meets with the Crippled God, who doesn't think himself powerful enough to do what is being asked of him. He also talks of Skinner. Gotta get those ice plugs in when we can, baby. Picker calls on Karsa to honor the vow he made long ago, and he sets off on a path unknown. Thus begins the first actual scene of substance with Ganos Perrin in several books, as Sister Belai notices that Perrin's forces have seemingly vanished. Thinking they will sally forth and attack before the reinforcements arrive, she organizes her troops to watch the main gate. Suddenly, the Malazan forces appear in front of the fort, seeming to walk through the walls. At the same time, the watered commanders are taken out one by one. Belai races after the assassins, forcing Quickbend to the ground with her voice before being taken down by Kalam. The rest of the Shriven are quickly driven back by the Malazans and flee. After the battle, Perrin and Quick attempt to out-vague bullshit each other before giving up and actually sharing what they know. There is a lot of exposition here. You should read it. The Grey Helm's Sergeant Irakala speaks with Brother Serenity. They speak of Sister Belai's death and the idea of justice. Irakala actually makes some good points here. They continue on their march to meet Perrin's forces, with Serenity making it clear that he plans to use up the parish forces in the battle. Back in Calance, Sister Reverence and Brother Diligence survey the battlefield that the combined forces under Devor will attempt to break through. Diligence quotes a lot from Gothos Folly. It's pretty great. Stormy and Gessler are spying on the parish forces, take note of Satak, and wonder that the parish appear unaware that the Kachin Shamal are right behind them. Setak and Tanakalian argue about the actions the parish should take. Tanakalian wants Setak to unleash the wolves against the Kachin Shamal, but she says they aren't their enemies. Tensions are high. Briz has a very, very scary dream. There's a lot of existential dread going on here. He sees a Tisti Eater in the water, who asks for his blessing. In the first good turn in a while, we discover a Letheri fleet bringing troops and, most importantly, supplies for the combined Letheri and Bakando army. Tehol sends a message, and Breeze has it read aloud. It's so good, but alas, Breeze sees the message within it. His brother thinks they will die in this battle. Tanakalian speaks with the watered commander, who has brought supplies to relieve the tired parish forces. When he mentions Tavor's Ototeral sword, the Forkal Assail is alarmed. All right, so we start off with, our god of assassins and god of shadow just talking us some vague stuff. What's the vibe we've gotten as a whole from Edgewalker over this series? Is he a force of good, bad, somewhere in the middle? Do we think he's someone from history we should know? Anything, any vibes we've gotten from this guy?
The closest thing I would say to vibes that I've gotten are maybe he's a guy from history. And that if he is, and that it's not good or evil, he just is a force, it seems. Yeah. But that's really all I got, honestly.
To me, whatever forces that Cotillion and Shadow Throne are interacting with, and especially in their pursuit of power, especially this type of power, Edgewalker to me represents that gone a few steps further. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's ancient. He's been in this realm so long. He has climbed that hill, so to speak. So, and for good or bad, do you know what I mean? But he is further down this road. Yeah. So that's how I see it. And I also just think he's a weird guy, and I always love a weird, unique guy. I'm a longtime Edgewalker fan, and I've said that on the pod.
He seems kind of like, there's that saying about intelligence versus wisdom or whatever. Like, intelligence is knowing everything, and wisdom is knowing that you don't. And Shadow Throne feels like he thinks he knows everything, and Edgewalker is the wisdom that says that he actually doesn't. Because
like that,
yeah. Well, there's just like the part where Edgewalker is brought up. The ugly truth is that we may not be out of place in that crowd, talking about fools wanting more than what they have, and I think it's just kind of that energy of like tempering or like managing like expectations, I guess, or just like acknowledging that like you don't actually know as much as you think you do, even if you're Shadow Throne. I don't know. Here's
a question. Do any mortals in the entire series talk of Edgewalker, or is he only known to gods?
Ooh, jeez.
What a question.
I don't remember
that.
Because he gets brought up quite often by a lot of the more powerful people.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where it's like, it's almost like when you're a freshman in high school and the seniors talk about the kids who were seniors when they were freshmen.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And there's this like
Sure.
reverence that like, you know, he came here and he had his impact and he did his thing.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like so ancient that like, unlike because even the elder gods are mentioned occasionally.
Yeah, they're like known forces.
Yeah, exactly. But this dude seems to only be known to the oldest players in the game, which is interesting.
Hmm. Do you think he's like a second in command that kind of just got lost to history or something, but he's just like been around?
That's an interesting idea. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like he's one of the biggest still like unexplained things for someone that we've talked with so many times. You know what I mean? Moving on to this really, I don't even know if it's vague, honestly. I think it's a pretty good conversation between Shadowthrone and the Crippled God. We don't really have, I would say this is the first time that we've had dialogue with the Crippled God in a meaningful way since he turned from primary antagonist to whatever role he is in this story now, right? Did you guys view this? Go ahead, India.
I have to say it. Like the Crippled God has been like, oh my God, he's the worst. Like he's so evil. He's so awful. Like, and even in that book that we read where he did that fuck shit, I forgot what he did. He like called someone over he just kept like making people like die or
he made Rulad die over and over
yeah,
again.
like,
and he gave all those people plagues on 7 cities continent.
But in this book, does he not just seem like he's standing there, cigarette in hand, exhausted, tired of the bullshit, guy down on his luck?
Down on his luck is such a funny way to describe it, but it's so true.
He's like, bro, I really don't want to do this. Like,
the boss is really fucking chewing my ass out this week. I don't know if I can do it again.
Literally, like, I don't have the energy to do it. And they're like, yeah, well, yeah, I hear you, bro, but that's just so good. It like made me like interested. I was like, he doesn't seem that bad right now.
He's such a more compelling character, and we see him so much less. He's so much better as he's almost incidental at this point. You know what I mean?
I think that's kind of the point, right? Like this being that we thought was going to be the big bad, you know, end all be all. The final book is called The Crippled God, and
what
like
a play too.
Right. And so it's like going into the series, I don't want to speak for all of us, but I was like, oh, okay, well we're being introduced to the main villain. And then for it, like in the book with his name on it, for him to just be like, oh my God, guys. I think it really is a great play. I think it's great.
Yeah. I really like this conversation. I joked about it, but there's some talk of Skinner, who I think is in the Crimson Guard. And as we all know, I think the book with the book with the single most Crippled God interactions is also the book that we had Iron Bars. So they seem so connected. And I am curious if the Crimson Guard books really delve deeper into that connection. But
I have no comment about that. But I do agree, and I won't expand more, but it is interesting how your perspective on the Crippled God changes throughout the series. Especially, I really agree with AJ's sentiment, knowing that it's the name of the final book. Definitely, I think implies some ideas around that character. I won't say anymore. I'm excited to talk more about it after we finish reading the book.
Yeah. All right. Noted. Okay. So we've got this quick couple scenes. We've got Picker, who the bangles are back on her arm. She's visited in her dreams by people. She has to leave her cozy little inn room, and she goes and finds Karsa. Now, first off, I've got to get on the record. I don't love that Samar Dev's entire role is to now be sad woman partner, you know, crying that he's leaving. I hope she's in the rest of this book at all in any meaningful way, but I have a feeling she's not. India, where do you think Karsa has been sent?
To, I don't know, wherever the Crippled God is.
Very, very, very far away from where Karsa is currently.
He'll get there. It's like Game of Thrones. Like, it's like...
If there's one character I would expect to be like, yeah, I swam here, it would just be Karsa.
Yeah. I am curious as to what we're too deep in. I trust Steve enough that he's going to have a reason that makes total sense in universe of how, if Karsa goes there, how he would get there. But I am curious.
If I'm not wrong, this is the second time we see him.
I think so.
Yeah, I think we see him super briefly earlier in the book.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure.
But yeah, we see him now, and he gets told, you made a vow, you have to end war. I don't remember exactly what the wording was.
I call upon the vow you made long ago, Karsa Orlong of the Teblor. When you walk to where you must go, a crippled priest will find you in a street, a broken man, a beggar, and he will speak to you, and by his words you shall understand.
Oh, are we talking about that fucking guy from Seven Cities crippled stuff that was like left in front of the temple and was like armless and legless?
Yeah, I do remember.
That would be a big callback if that's who we're talking about.
Wasn't there in Memories of Ice a crippled priest? Didn't that happen? He was just like in the street, and he was in the epilogue, I think.
Oh, I do not remember that.
Yeah, in Kapustan, which is closer to where Karsa is than Seven Cities.
Yeah, we've never actually heard if Kapistan's like rebuilt or not. So
yeah,
interesting. No clue where he's going. I mean, we've just guessed several locations, and
right?
Any of them could be correct.
Yeah.
So we get to some scenes now, Peter. I think it is now safe enough to clarify for us. All of these scenes we've had with Perrin in this book, I originally definitely thought they were in some kind of warren. Based on things we're hearing now, are they just to the west of Calance? Like they're on this plane, they're on this normal warren like everybody else in the world, like just kind of west?
Yeah, that's been my I have no idea why you thought it was in a warren, but
no, I just felt like there were descriptions that felt kind of warren-y. Okay, so they're to the west. We'll talk about.
I don't believe they're in a warren.
They're definitely not. It's like all but confirmed now.
Even when he met with Belai, that wasn't in like some weird dream space or something. That was just
they've just been west of Calance. I'm telling you, early on, things were said that really made me feel like they were in some warren nowhere near anywhere.
Interesting.
Which then, my question, I mean, actually, it's not a question. I guess the assumption then is that we're so far over there, Perrin must just have portaled this whole army, right?
Yeah.
Just crazy. India, how is this quick, brutal fight for you? Is this your kind of battle where it's over in half a page?
Yeah, it was perfect, especially because it was like a little dream team moment.
Yes.
You know, a little nod to the past. Okay.
This is our second duo, second Bridge Burner duo to be reunited that has had a little bit of tension.
It can't be a coincidence. We're really wrapping up strong.
Yeah. I do like this idea that the Bridge Burners for so long in our minds were like really this unbreakable, like bonded group. And we've seen smaller versions of the Bridge Burners that are way, like the ones in Genabakis in Darujistan really tight. But it's really interesting to see like people that we thought really close, like really also hate each other a lot. And really they're together because they're together. And you know, who else is going to be there?
Yeah, it's kind of it's a situationship more or less. It's just like, well, we're all in this army. We might as well be pals. I do really like when the Forker Lasalle use their magic, because it's the most like concrete description of magic we get in these books, because a lot of the time it's like, you know, it's a warren or it's like, you know, a wave of bones or something. But this one is just like they yell and it does what it does. And so when Belai is yelling no power but mine, like I get it. I understand what's happening and I like it. I think it's cool.
Pretty sick stuff. It almost beats Quick Ben, who kind of unknown. He always acts worse off than he is.
Yeah, I mean it was a ruse for sure.
Yeah. Well, he claims it really wasn't. He claims they almost had him, but he was Quick Ben.
Yeah, just to touch on back something Josh said that I want to comment on about like how we're kind of observing how the narrative around the Bridge Burners was constructed. I think there's a lot of really interesting passages there, especially coming from the Bone Hunters too, about like the use of that type of storytelling for like morale of the soldiers or for like historical purposes, and like how that myth gets used for either people, like common people or soldiers or the state. So I just think it's a really interesting twist on the kind of the other major army. Now that you guys can kind of see that we actually spend most of the series with the Bone Hunters. They're kind of the army of the series, really. But that we're kind of introed through this other army. It's really interesting.
I gotta say, I love having Peter on the show, guys. Really great choice we had at the beginning to bring them on.
Yeah.
When
we were coming up,
it was my idea.
Yeah, I do remember India lobbying hard to bring Pete on when we were like, we should do a show about these 10 books. You ever hear of them?
I'm happy India championed having me being on the show.
I brought several other candidates that I thought were highly qualified.
Yeah, your Mark Zuckerberg poll was really strange. I pulled some strings and he was willing. Okay. Yeah.
I gotta say, that'd be a real twist for the Malazan community if Mark Zuckerberg started a Malazan read-through podcast.
Exclusively on Meta.
I do want to say, though,
in the metaverse.
I was gonna say, Peter, is you've actually really just taken what I was talking about and made me actually understand the point I was getting at, which is really good because I would never say Korik and Smiles like each other. But goddamn, if they're not going to be the Quickben and Kalam of the Bone Hunters myth and legend. And it is very interesting to think of it that way. And I really hadn't. And now I guess I have to re-examine a lot of things about this series.
So true.
Well, you can think about it.
It's a good book. Good book, guys.
If you really think about it, it's a good book.
When you sit down and really think about it.
I wonder if people have ever reread these to sort of see
what interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I wonder if they even analyzed it with their friends.
Interesting.
I doubt it.
If only there was some place we could maybe meet other people that had read the books. Do you know what I mean?
So we get some Greyhelm stuff, and somehow fucking Ericala, who led this naval detachment, is the single most competent Greyhelm. Some really good points with Serenity. Maybe kind of wins this little verbal repartee they've got going. Really good stuff.
I was laughing my ass off reading this scene. This is one of the funniest scenes I think in the book, if you disconnect any emotion from it, because it's they're talking to Ericala and they're like, yeah, you came to help us, right? And the Ericala's like, well, no, everybody's gonna die, but we're just kind of evening out the sides so that we also die and you die and we kill some people on the way out, so that way the wolves can come when everybody's dead. And then Reference is like, wait, and he's like, no, it's fine, this is it, this is what we're doing. I was
really good.
It's that, and honestly, that is a sick as shit, huge balls moment for Ericala to just be like, yeah, we're here to make sure that we die and that we kill some people on the way out, and you're also gonna die, you're gonna lose, but we're here to kind of just balance the scales.
Without us, it would be worse for you. So
right.
I love every part of it. It's it's good stuff. The Forkless Sail, truly kind of funny.
Yeah. Dark academia, baby.
I agree. Exactly. They're like ballet corps.
No, wait, I need ballet corps described to me.
No, I've understood it. If you've watched what's that Netflix though? Shadow and
Bone.
Yeah, it's really good. Just the guy that does the shadow magic, that's him. He's Forkless Sail.
I have not watched that show, but okay.
Pretty good stuff. Yeah, so we have the Sister Reverence and Diligence stuff.
Oh, we skipped over a Quickben Perrin conversation.
No, we didn't. We talked about it.
Okay.
No, we didn't. You're right. They talk about Favor's past and why. Oh, that's the one where, Quickben says what we're all thinking, which is, hey, why the fuck are you here, though? And how did you know to be here? And how are you secretly communicating with your sister? And Perrin's like, oh, no. We don't talk. It's just sort of a thing we do. This kind of felt right. Or whatever he says. And it's so ridiculous.
Ganos is like, oh, Quickben, Tavor must have explained her plan to you. And he was like, she's going to free the crippled god. And he says, that's it. And then Quickben's just like, how the fuck am I supposed to know? You guys don't talk about anything.
Yeah.
It's really good.
One of the more human conversations I feel like Quickben has had, where he's actually being frustrated about things.
Mm-hmm.
I love Quickben.
I love this little exchange right here. Quickben, what might she be holding inside? I wish I knew. Quickben's growing agitation was evident as he waved his hands and his sudden pacing, the sharp, wide-eyed look he threw at Perrin. I thought you two had this planned. Perrin says, had what planned? He says, you're the master of the deck of dragons. And he's like, yeah, I am.
It's so good. We are all just fucking right. We're just going for it.
Yeah.
So good. Quick scene with Sister Reverence and Diligence. They're looking at an impossible defense that Tavor could never break through. Diligence says a lot of Gothos Volley stuff. I 10 out of 10 gag. Peter, Gotha's Folly fan, yay or nay?
Josh, we've been on the episodes, the epigraphs. You know me and the Gotha. I wanted the show to be called Our Folly, as you well know.
We know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mark vetoed, and at the time he was still kind of like a contributor, and that was the deciding vote, unfortunately.
Mhm. Yeah.
I didn't even have a say.
That is not true, India Jones. Okay.
Whoa.
What are
that
you
back.
talking about?
Whoa.
What? Who knew that? Who's Mark even? Who knew
Zuckerberg.
that Mark had a say?
Mark
Zuckerberg.
didn't have a say. I have no idea what Josh is talking
It was a
about.
throwback to Mark Zuckerberg joke from earlier.
Oh,
AJ
wow,
got
I
it.
see.
AJ got it.
You
Yeah.
guys freaked me out. I was gonna say, is there a fucking meeting that I wasn't invited to that I'm finding out in the second to last episode of
Oh
filming
my
the show?
God.
That's so funny.
India, you were actually a second round draft.
yeah.
Christ.
You were we need to
No,
put Mark on
India.
IR.
I know what that means.
Injured
Injured reserve. Got it.
Yeah. Let's go. So, where are we at? Stormy and Gessler look on. We don't need to worry about it. Let's talk about this Setak, Tanakalian, all of their stuff here for a second. This is actually a pretty even match. It feels like.
Wait. I just really fast. Stormy and Gessler at the end of their conversation with like, all right, let's get back for more armpit fungi and a big tankard brimming with gland juice.
Yeah.
I think it's just so fucking funny.
I just can't wait for these good boys and girls to get a nice bed rest and some fucking, some good food and drink.
Yeah, I
Can't
hope
wait
the
for
second
them all.
epilogue is just a beach episode.
Oh my god. A little summer vacay art.
In reality, there's just like nothing left.
Yeah.
Just the narrator
would not shock
discussing
me.
everyone died.
Yeah, it's Edgewalker. He's just walking
Oh
around.
my god.
It's restarting. The earth is healing itself.
Exactly.
Anyway,
Burns
sorry, this
away.
conversation.
So we have this conversation with Setak and Tanakalian. I feel like they're pretty evenly matched. The only problem is, right, and it's a little one, Tanakalian has to overcome, is that Setak at any moment can summon a million wolves. And so I want you right now,
Just a
AJ,
small
to tell
hang-up.
me, I want you, AJ, to tell me right now a cooler superpower.
Oh, damn. I would. Oh, geez. I mean, I definitely can't think of a more threatening superpower. Like, I could just summon a million wolves.
Yeah.
Um.
Because I'll tell you right now, here's a drawback, right?
Yeah. Then there's
A million wolves does not solve every problem, but it solves all problems at the exact same time, right then and there. You know what I mean? It's not subtle, and I don't think you can summon a million wolves more than once, right?
Wait, why not?
Yeah, once they're out, they're out.
Yeah.
But where are you
There's a
summoning them
million
from to
wolves
begin-
inside of you.
I knew it. No.
Yeah, and I think they just come out of a warren, right? And so if you open
Yeah, well,
the
they're
gate,
also,
they all
like,
run.
She can only do
Are
it
they-
one time?
Well, we don't know that, but it really feels like a one and done.
Oh. Well, that's not. I can think of a million things that are cooler than that.
All right, but hear me out, India. You could control the world because there's the threat that at any moment.
Million wolves. But
You don't have to
Josh,
do
okay,
shit.
wait.
You just
No,
have
but
to say,
Josh-
yeah.
How do you prove you can summon a million wolves?
Hey, that's on you to figure out, all right? But you have to convince enough people at first to start spreading your good word.
Yeah.
I have
But
something big to announce.
Word.
Oh,
I recently learned how to summon a million wolves.
Whoa.
Okay.
What?
big if true, Peter.
Hey, Josh, it is true. Okay, and I just wanted to share that with you. I haven't done it yet because of the repercussions.
Well, I don't know what to do, HA, because it's like, do I challenge them? What if they do it?
Well, yeah.
You guys are hysterical today.
Anyhow.
All right.
We've got honestly the most wholesome thing in a long time. I feel like in this scene with well, first off, Breeze has this horrendously existential dread-filled dream where he
really
meets a
heavy.
mysterious Tisty Eater who has a connection to him.
Do we remember who it
Wonder
is?
who it could be.
Who could it be?
Who is
I
it,
have
Josh?
no idea.
Well, there's only like two people it could be. It's got to be Troll Sengar or Rulad, maybe. Like it's
I
gonna be
think
one of those
you're
two.
wrong on both accounts. I thought it was that guy who the Warlock King killed when he sent him into a trance to go underwater to find Breeze.
Oh,
AJ
fuck.
Fucking cool.
Why?
Because that guy
AJ.
got sent to go find Breeze and then got killed by the Warlock King, and then I vaguely remember him asking Oh fuck! Whoever
he was
that
with Commanderos and Succolat. They were in the house
and he's like,
together.
"Hey, do you remember how I got here and what my name is?" And they're like, "No, actually, I don't."
Oh my god, AJ.
But I don't. But like, what's the relevance of him? I think his name starts with an O.
I thought it would be Troll too.
I thought it started with an R, but I do not have any fucking clue what his name is.
Or something. Anyway,
we're gonna move past that. That's a great pull. So proud of you, AJ.
I felt really smart when I know I clocked that instantly.
Wow.
Immediately.
Wow. So good.
I can't wait for it
to be Troll, and it's just you're completely wrong.
Yo, if it's Troll, I will be so happy.
If it's Troll, you're the better writer. You're the better writer.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
Sorry, yeah. Anyway, so we have this awesome scene where the Letheri, Tehol in his infinite wisdom had predicted how long it would take, all this good stuff. But really the meat of it is this incredible message to his brother that is so funny and kind. And honestly, one of the best, like this is one of the most touching scenes I've ever read, especially after Breeze like confides that he's like, oh, he's never said he loves me. He thinks we're going to all die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why we bring it to our new segment called Malazan Draft Books Goes Malazan India DraftKings. That's what it's called. DraftKings Goes Malazan India. What are you taking? Breeze dies or Breeze lives?
Oh,
Breeze already fucking died, so Breeze lives.
All right, AJ, are you going with India or are you taking the under?
I think Breeze lives.
Wow.
Pete, what do you think?
Aranict, live or dead?
I think Aranict dies. Aranict dies.
Oh, I hope Aranict doesn't die, because then if Breeze lives, like, what's his point of living, you know? But that is how
I was thinking of a Brastel. No, Aranict lives. They both live and they live happily ever after.
I want them to so
they
bad.
both die. It's not one or the other.
I agree. I don't think it's one or the other.
Interesting.
I think if one's going to live, though, I think it would be Aranict. But I agree. I think they both live or both die.
Listen, I actually do want to do predictions like this a little later, but so maybe we just move on.
All right, let's move on. Last thing, China Callion speaks with the commander. And they're like, oh, they could have never made the glass desert. Ha ha ha. Oda sword, Forkle sail freaks.
It's good shit.
We'll find out why. I assume it's got something to do with the fucking dragon, right?
Yeah, I think definitely.
Because Kalam pulls out his Otatero dagger, right? And Quick Ben's like, shut up, stop it.
Yeah, he's like, you got to quit doing that so much. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's chapter 21. Honestly, reading it really got me hyped. Not as hyped, though, as chapter 22, which we're going to get into. I thought was a fucking blast.
Yeah. Before that, so thank you. So, India, do you want to do these or do you want me to? Or,
yeah.
Sure.
I'll do them. Oh, wow. Oh, my God. Thank you to these wonderful, wonderful humans for supporting our Patreon. Rob and Tall Steven and Daniel and Wilson and Hood's Left Tusk.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you
for your support. We really appreciate it. And if you would like to contribute to our Patreon, the link's in the show notes. We appreciate it.
And tune into the Malazan stream of the fall on July 22nd.
Yeah, I was going to say, while we're here, though, I do think subscribe to us on YouTube so you get notified when we go live on July 22nd for the Malazan stream of the fall. And thank you. That's all I'll say about it, because there's stuff at the beginning and I'm going to say stuff at the end. So let's go to the next chapter.
Well, just want a reminder, though, there is a stipulation. There is a height requirement of the Patreon, and Tall Steven feels like you're kind of... I think you're trying to play the game a little bit.
Definitely the correct height for the Patreon, Steven.
Short kings only on the Patreon.
Let's go.
Chapter 22. Fair warning. Lots of single sentence descriptions coming your way. Calm senses the approach of Corbus and thinks of Icarium as her weapon of vengeance should the Forkle sail be wiped out. Draconis tracks down Commanderos and Sekolath, killing both with ease. Commanderos' last thought is of her disappointment in her son, even in death. Shadowthrone meets with Draconis and convinces him to leave the whole mess in Calance alone. The twins stand over the corpse of their father and talk of revenge against Erastus. Parents' Force has found the reinforcing army. entrenched and ready for a fight. Quickbend and Kalam discuss the opposing leadership styles of the Perrin siblings. Torrent is having a great time while Olar Ethel freaks out about Corvus. Kalam and Quickbend sneak into the enemy camp and kill the pure commander, though Kalam is wounded badly. They are cornered by the Champion of Wolves, who heals Kalam instead of attacking. We are supposed to remember who this is, but they're probably from 4 books ago. Before the battle begins, Perrin distributes Maranth munitions to his sappers, who can barely contain their joy. Unfortunately, they are sappers, so they stole the special munitions they aren't supposed to have yet. Arikala awaits the battle to be joined, but unfortunately he is unprepared for 21st century warfare, and the barrage from the sappers obliterates the Shriven army and badly wounds the parish. In the aftermath, the parish are disarmed and left to their own devices, as the Malazan set off to find their allies. So, we've got a lot of just check-ins here. It's one of those things where at the end of a book, storylines have got to get wrapped up. What's a more effective way of wrapping them up than having fucking Draconis murder them? That's right, folks. He is the proverbial red pen of the editor coming down. Sekolath storyline needs to be done. Kill Mandaros. More like, should have killed Mandaros earlier. I don't know.
You skipped the calm part.
We'll get back to it. I just wanted to start with a funny bit.
No, it was good. Okay, sorry.
That was a phenomenal bit. Josh, you really brought your A game.
Thank you. So yeah, I mean, Mandaros, Sekolath, they've done their job. Draconis tracks him down. Kills. Great. Tied up, never to see them again. Incredible. All that doesn't matter other than the Mandaros last line where she's like, even in death, my son disappoints. Oh, but all that does matter in that we get the fucking incredible scene of the twins who are just absolutely the goofiest 2 people. They are never serious, even when they're talking about Erastus. I can only imagine them as like the fucking Justice League Wonder Twins. Like in my mind, they are 100% in like purple and pink leotards. There's no other way they could be.
Sure.
Peter, is that your kind of vision of the twins in your head? Or do they share one body and they just when the camera like pivots to one half when one talks and then?
They're both. That's a fun visual idea. Yeah, kind of wrapping up the storyline, and it is interesting to see the children speak up from that kind of vantage as well. So,
and these are the only, to my knowledge, the only like children of a god that we. Well, no, that's actually super not true, and I retract that statement.
Who were you thinking of now?
Oh, well, there's like Sister Spite and Envy. They're like the daughters of Draconis.
Yeah.
So,
do you think, because Sekolath like gets up at the end of this, right?
No, he's dead.
You sure?
Pretty sure.
When at last he opened his eyes, they were gone and all was well. And they just previously were talking about, well, a long time ago, we started spinning a coin. If I listen hard, you can hear it. He'll be okay. He'll get back up on his feet.
Oh, I fully missed that.
When he opens his eyes, when he climbs to his feet, there will be no going back. No going back ever again.
Oh, I kind of actually imagine that as him like stepping into the next plane of existence, but it's hard to say.
Yeah, I don't know. But they also do say, we are the best of him. We shall live on. So maybe they are like, maybe they have taken over his body as one unit.
Oh, that would be crazy. I have no idea, AJ. All of it's crazy.
Yeah.
Peter, thoughts on which of our theories is right?
Well, I guess you're just going to have to see what happens.
Had to read the books. Huh.
I actually think I'm done. I think,
Can I tell you, look, I love this podcast dearly. It's been lovely. I get full body erections when I think about never having to hear Peter say, should read the books ever again.
Christ.
Josh, don't tell me about your erections on the show.
Sorry.
Okay.
All of them,
Save
apparently.
that for off the show.
Yeah, sorry.
That's a private time.
That's for 10 Very Big Books After Dark.
That's for the Patreon, baby. Come check out Exploring Epigraphs.
Subscribe to us on OnlyFans.
We do have the uncut episode.
Yeah. Anyway, going back to Calm, who has Icarium's body. Is that how we imagine this is? Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's just chilling.
Yeah. Do you think Icarium is the type of weapon? Now, back to the former question. Who wins? One Icarium, million wolves.
I think it has to be Wanakarium, yeah.
Yeah, you think, right? It's pretty tough.
Yeah, I think it would take many more wolves to take down a city, and it took one Icarium to destroy a city.
So I don't think there's much to be said about this calm thing other than sort of reminding us in some way that calm is there with Icarium. Probably, I mean, I'm hoping against hope, setting up a confrontation with Mapotrel. Really hoping that that's where that leads us.
Yeah. I was surprised we didn't get a Mappo drop in this chapter, honestly.
I think with what we see at the end of this, we did the water scene before, right?
Like stabbing the dagger into the ground and the water coming out?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm curious if Mappo will somehow end up in that whole situation since he was crossing the same desert, but we'll see.
Yeah.
In some more quick meetings we can check in with Shadow Throne meeting with Draconis. A pretty tense standoff to me because I feel like Draconis is in a bit of a kill first, ask questions later kind of mood. So
we get a fun POV of Carabas flying.
Just flying around.
Elaine, you would kill me and call it freedom, then come to me and try. I love that.
Is this when they start fighting, right?
That happens later in the chapter, yeah.
I didn't really write about that. I don't know why. Let's talk about it now because we brought it up. Fucking crazy image of one dragon that consumes all life fighting every other dragon in existence.
Yeah.
Really,
just a big dragon fight.
I was gonna say it is really interesting that I think the Malazan series as a whole treats dragons in such a different way than almost any other book series I've ever read has. Because they're, they are the preeminent, like so many stories have a dragon, or, you have books where there's all these dragons and they're very clear cut on how they are. And Steve is just out here. These dragons are everywhere doing everything possible. And sometimes there's just 1,000 of them fighting one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty ridiculous. India, how many dragons is too many dragons for you?
Oh, endless. I love dragons.
And follow-up question, dragons. If I was like, are you do you finish the theme song in your head?
Yes. Let's all go to Dragon Tales. Come on.
There it is. There it is.
Let's all go to Dragon Land.
Wow.
Bring it back around,
Yeah. Peter, were you a Dragon Tales kind of?
I was not a Dragon Tales kid, and I'm feeling really left out of the call now.
And that was why we almost didn't let you on.
That's why. That was where Mark came in really strong.
Because
the Zuck, is a huge Dragon Tales head. Yeah. His metaverse is just he recreated the Dragon Tales.
It's actually just a Dragon Tales RP project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long do we think the longest Dragon Tales fanfic is?
Really long.
Probably really long, right?
I wasn't expecting Carabas to die here, but that's interesting. But I do think this has interesting implications now, because now there's just a bunch of elite who are out of control.
Carabas dead, or just I don't remember Carabas.
The storms ripped into her, tore her hide, rent vast tears in her wings until her will alone was the only thing that kept her aloft, flying across these racked skies. As the sun bled over the horizon far behind her,
she's alive.
See the darkness, hear my cries. Yeah, I guess she's still alive.
100% still alive. Just like a huge badass.
Yeah, I guess
she sounds really ripped apart, though.
Yeah, but now? Okay.
Do you heal?
Well, and also, isn't Carabas the undead bone dragon? Or is Carabas flesh?
No.
Okay. So
Carabas is flesh, yeah.
Oh, okay. I definitely had pictured the bone dragon. Oh, wow.
Mm-mm.
I don't know. I mean, if you're made of anti-magic, I imagine you're pretty durable. But, we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, anyway, don't let me look it
back
up.
to not the end of the chapter.
Sorry. Yeah.
No, it's cool to talk about. I'm glad we talked about it.
No, it's so sick. I can't believe I didn't write about it. So we've got Torrent out here really just sort of reveling in Olar Ethel's anxiety about Corbus.
Yeah, dude.
This is one of the storylines I feel shocked it hasn't dried up and ended yet. So do we think happy ending for all 4 of these people? Where are we at with this? Because we have the 2 twin girls, we have Torrent, and we have Boy.
Yeah. Happy ending for the 4 of them?
Yeah. Do we think that?
I think so. I think Torrent has been through enough that he deserves a cool ending.
Okay, now speaking of cool endings, do we think Torrent mirrors Talk in his final moments and turns around, sends the kids on, and turns to face some enemy he knows he can't beat, a la Talk?
Olarathiel, probably.
Right? It feels like it's gotta happen.
Yeah, and then that's he's the final member of the
his clan, the All.
They would
be all gone.
Maybe not in the best taste.
Yeah,
Josh.
no, I don't like Josh, I hear you, but it feels pretty bad, all things considered.
All things considered.
Wow.
My favorite NPR show.
We should have named that the podcast, All Things Considered.
Wow. Well, do you know, maybe we can sell that name to Mark.
Malazan Public Radio.
That really was our folly to not name it that.
Nice.
Wow, Josh, you're like cooking tonight, buddy.
No, Josh, literally fire is coming out of you.
I feel like I'm doing absolutely nothing on the show, and Josh is just like running the whole show.
Thank you.
Josh has got a tight 30, and he's just running with it.
I've been practicing for weeks. That does bring us to kind of the final big section. We see a lot of things, learn a lot of things. This is the first proper fight from a Malazan army since Seven Cities, possibly since, one could argue, fucking Coral. Because I don't know if we've had a large-scale Malazan fight since Coral.
There was the one with the Bone Hunters.
Did they? They walked halfway across the continent of Seven Cities to not fight. And then they snuck onto the Tisti Eater land only to not fight because they were saved by oh fuck me. What was his name? Not Bottle, but the other boy who was so good.
Beak.
They didn't fight there either.
No, there was a when To Amber dies, that whole I don't remember what book that is.
That's the closest we get, and really that's just more of, two squads tactically retreating, but this is like the first,
I guess so.
This is the first full-blown Malazan Marines and sappers fighting in tandem in fucking forever. And I just only say that because it's a reminder that it's sick as all hell, and that if you give a sapper a dynamite, he will
look for a bigger dynamite.
He'll attach it to more nitroglycerin.
Yeah.
I found it really interesting that we are bringing the Moranth musicians back and that they had a pretty logical way to do it. Part of me has always felt like the Moranth were criminally underused. We had one who talked ever. We knew nothing of their society. We just kind of used their weapons.
I kind of love that, though. I kind of love that they're just like weird, like maybe they're actually bugs, people.
I did forget that we don't even know if they're bugs or not.
We're not 100% certain whether the chitin is real or not.
Really good.
To me, they're bugs.
To me, they're also bugs, but maybe not.
But that's actually not proven. But
that's
to me,
so gross. Like a giant bug. Like fuck off. Like
but it's like shaped like a person, but like maybe has bugs, like bug armor.
Can I tell you?
It's an exoskeleton.
Yeah.
Wait, actually, India, I got you. India, bug fact for you. Insects, whatever the biggest insect is on Earth is the biggest they can ever get. Evolutionary wise, they will never get bigger unless they undergo severe genealogical and physiological transformations, because mathematically the surface area is going to increase at an exponential rate to the volume and the size of their muscles, and so they cannot get any bigger. Learned that in my bug class at UD.
Wow.
Okay, Josh, that was hella boring. I gotta come in with a hot fact. We all know the great movie Ants with a Z, of course. And we've never forgotten that iconic piece of American cinema.
Right,
and
starring Woody Allen.
And you may recall one Susan Sarandon in the part. Not Susan Sarandon. Sharon Stone is in it. Huge news. She's the main.
Sylvester Stallone. Wow, this is an all-star cast.
Big news. Sarah Jessica Parker recently revealed she recorded the entire movie and then they cut her out and put Sharon Stone in.
Whoa.
That's so
recently revealed?
I'm going to tell you, I've typed in Ants. I'm going to hit the news button. If this is from 2018 or something, I'm going to be pissed.
No, it was on Howard Stern. Shout out to one of the greats. Am I right? Where are the Howard Stern heads at?
This is from 2016, Peter. This news is from 2016.
Okay, Josh. Well, when you think, Josh, when you think about the length of the universe, that is pretty recent. Okay, you know.
Ants and Citizen Kane came out at the same time.
Anyway, the people, the good guys win. The Perish are disarmed. Most of them have fucking PTSD for the rest of their lives. So there we go.
How cute is like Tavor and Perrin, like sibling duo? Like, are you fucking kidding?
Can I tell you, I am so curious if they're just not going to meet. There was also really good stuff in these 2 chapters, right? About the whole, does Perrin know? Does Tavor know she killed her sister? Does it matter if she knows? Who had that conversation? It was
that was also the last episode, Josh.
God damn it. We record so infrequently sometimes.
That's
so listen,
funny.
Everyone. I appreciate everyone listening. I'm not gonna lie.
Are we done? Wait, are we done?
Yeah, we're done. We're over.
We barely even like really talked about it. All right.
The battle happens in 3 sentences. They start throwing the bombs and everyone dies.
Yeah, but okay. First of all, there's that really funny Noto Boyle bit where they're like Noto, and he just says Noto Boyle, and he keeps trying to get them to call him Noto Boyle, and they just keep calling him Noto or Boyle. I think that's a great bit. There's the bit where Perrin's like, yeah, I hid it in a secret warren that nobody knows where it is, and then the next scene,
like, we found it so long ago.
He's like, yeah, we tortured Mulligan, and he told us where it was. I got it tattooed on my hand. Let's go. And then they steal these like crazy powerful weapons, and then they don't know how to use them, and so they wind up accidentally killing a lot of Perish.
Yeah. Well, and would the Perish even be mad about that?
Well, yeah, because they were trying to even the odds, Josh, not get wiped out.
Well, sticks and stones,
Anyway, I think that's going to have implications, I think. But anyway, I guess we don't want to talk about it.
What are the implications, AJ?
AJ, I'd love to know your thoughts on the implications.
Well, now there's less Perish, which means the Bone Hunters have a better chance, which means they will probably win. Or not the Bone Hunters, sorry. I guess these are Bridgeburn. What are these? What are Perrin's people?
This is actually, they talk about that. What are they? Are they an army of Malazan Empire who is under the rule of fucking what's his face now? But like, are they really a Malazan force, or are they Perrin's force?
Yeah, interesting.
I'm Team Perrin. That's all I gotta say.
Perrin I'm nowhere.
What?
The Emperor thing? Yes, India. I think we talked about that last episode.
We did, yeah.
Perrin's a Nepo baby.
Wait, why is Perrin a Nepo baby?
Well, yeah, both parents are Nepo babies in the extreme.
Yeah, because their parents were like royalty.
Yeah, I guess to the extent that all nobles are Nepo babies.
Yeah.
All right, anyway, yeah, no, fuck Perrin. No, for no reason, okay. For no reason, for literally no reason. I like Perrin. I take it back. I'm just being crazy.
I do like how the beginning
India,
of this...
You're crazy.
I do like how we spend all this time with like people that we haven't spent time with.
Yeah.
Throughout these last 2 books. I think it's fun to get these points of views, and I'm glad that we got them. And it just makes me more excited to get to the end of this book, because now all of these other people are reintroduced, and stuff's going to happen probably.
All right. I'm not going to lie. I feel like I've contributed absolutely nothing this episode, and I'm at peace with that. And
your role it's always been the goal to sunset Peter. All right. Started off as the mentor to us young ducklings.
And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, here with us today, special guest. That's right. It's Mark Zuckerberg.
Peter, have a great rest of your life.
Hello, everybody. I hope you're enjoying the headsets. That's what I got. That was my mark.
We record this show in the metaverse. We've been doing it the whole time. Surprise.
That's right. The Malazan Stream of the Fallen is going to be a metaverse exclusive event. So you need to come on.
Kiki Palmer is going to be
there. Get your Quest 3.
Anyway.
Okay. What I was going to say is I've contributed nothing, and that's because I'm absolutely brimming with anticipation at the thought of the 3 of you finishing these books. I have nothing to say to you because I just need you to read these last fucking 200 pages. We'll be done. So in thrilling anticipation before that episode, I do want to hear, I have a couple of questions for all 3 of my co-hosts. All right. Number 1. A character you think deserves a happy ending, AJ?
Torrent. I already said it.
India.
Wait, that's so fast. How did you
I definitely have more than just that answer, but that was the one that I had already said on this episode, so I just pulled that one. I think Breeze also deserves a happy ending. I think, oh God, I don't know, somebody else also probably. I want to see what Quickben's going to do. Not regardless of happy ending, I want to see what the fuck that dude's up to.
All right, India.
You know what? The crippled god deserves a happy ending. Get fucked.
Damn. I think it would have to be.
Go, Indy, if you want me to.
No. You know what? You know who deserves a fucking life and has never had one? Icarium.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah.
Nice
Fucking
call.
preach, India. Hell yeah.
I feel that way.
All right.
Wow.
I got
Josh?
I'm going to go with two. Similar to India, I'm going to go with Mappo because I feel like so much of his life has been dedicated to trying to living with this conflict in his heart. And I think he just deserves to be free of that conflict and live. And secondly,
Dude's been at work for 1,000 years.
can I tell you, it is taking every fiber of my being to not look up on the wiki if we see her again. But Apsalar, she had no childhood. It was robbed from her. She lives with the feeling of someone else who's lived in her body. Like she like buried her feelings in her work for years afterwards because she thought it was the best thing for other people. Like, yeah.
And her work is murdering people.
Her work is murdering people.
All right. Here's the other question I have.
Wait, no,
Wait, really
AJ,
quick.
AJ.
Fiddler.
Oh,
Fiddler's my
Fiddler.
answer. Fiddler deserves such a happy ending. The dude has had such a rough time.
Who knew that Fiddler would be almost the main character of this series?
I love
Right?
Fiddler. Anyway, Pete, what's your other question?
Next question. AJ, who is a character you think will not get a happy ending?
My first thought is Breeze. I don't think Breeze gets a happy ending. And I think Torrent's happy ending is him like finally getting to sacrifice himself for somebody he cares about, but he does die. So I guess that's not really a happy ending for Torrent. Josh?
I think it's Fiddler.
No, you think?
I think Fiddler is going to go out in the same way that Whiskey Jack did, and I think Fiddler's name is going to be the new, name that hangs hollowed over the Bone Hunters.
Stop. No.
Damn.
India, what do you think?
That doesn't get a happy ending. Tavor.
Tavor.
I think that she's gonna die
I could see it.
Yeah.
because she killed her fucking sister.
I also think it depends on what you classify as a happy ending. Like happy for us, like we feel like their story arc was completed in a satisfying way, or happy for the person who is existing in this book in this world who is going to have to move on with a fictional life.
Yeah, it's a silly question in some ways. Here's my final question. AJ, end of the series, one last prediction.
Oh, okay. Well, the Jade statues have to crash into the world because if they don't, I'm going to burn this book in my fireplace. And so I think even if it's like everything happens, everybody's wiped out, nobody's alive, whatever happens with Tavor, et cetera, and then it's like, and then the Jade statues hit, or the Jade fingers hit the ground and all life is restarted again. Like, I would be fine with that being the ending. It's like, if whatever happens, everybody dies, there's, whatever. And then all the souls, et cetera, in the Jade fingers are actually like, we're here to, this is just Scientology, isn't it?
Oh no.
That just create
Eva Scientology.
All right, India, one last prediction.
It wasn't a great prediction on my part, just to be clear.
My prediction, can it be kind of vague?
Sure.
All right.
It can be whatever you want.
Here's my prediction. My prediction is that one of these, because I don't really know their individual, I don't know which ones it's going to be, but one of these old races are going to fight, and then everyone's going to die, except it had nothing to do with the crippled god at all. And probably Cotillion or Shadow Throne is going to end it. It's going to be them. And I just feel like they're going to I think it's going to end with them too. And I don't think it's going to have anything to do with anything else in the book, anything else with the crippled god.
May I piggyback to extend this conversation even further?
Sure.
I think Indy, I think you're right about Shadowthrone and Cotillion having some sort of like they're like the last two standing or something. I think Cotillion is going to wind up like killing Shadowthrone, and it's going to be like, I'm the god of assassons. Sorry, I don't know what to tell you. And Shadowthrone's going to be like, good job, I'm proud of you, or some shit.
Like, he's the
and I
fucking
also
scorpion. It was in his nature.
Yeah, and I also think I also totally agree that the crippled god is going to be like totally relevant by the end of this book.
Tell me that those aren't some good takes, because I've been thinking about them, guys. So just think about it.
Yeah.
All right. Joshua, final prediction.
I think in some way, shape, or form, all of the elder gods will die or move on or something. Because I feel like there's been a big theme in the last couple books of them trying to reclaim their power, and then the power of these new ascendants, and how the cycles of the old are what's causing issues. And I just think somehow, some way, a power shift has to happen in a major way, especially considering we got told in book like 3 that Byrne is dying and it's never been brought up again. And so I wonder if it's like all of the elder gods have to agree to use their last remaining power or something to like save Byrne, and then they just kind of go off and do that.
And then at the end, Krupp closes the book and says, "What did you think of my fan fiction?"
I love it. Yeah. Oh, Krupp closing the book at the end is very powerful.
But to be fair, this is a book about compassion, and I just am wondering what is the compassion aspect of this all? You know?
Damn. That's a good point.
Like, something has to be done as like, I'm doing this because I'm a good person for you. Like, I don't know.
Well, I think that's partly what Tavor's motivation is for freeing the crippled god, right? Is like, not only is freeing the crippled god going to stop the Forker LaSalle from being able to use the heart, I assume, but also it's like, you know, this dude is hurting and he's been hurting for so long. It's the humane thing to do. It's the humane thing to do is to free him. And actually, honestly, do we know what freeing him means? Does freeing him just mean stabbing the heart and killing him? Like, is his death freedom? Like, yeah, what is?
Depends on what freed means.
And if that is his freedom, why the fuck wouldn't she say that she's gonna kill him? Because that was like a real big surprise to a lot of people. It's like, we're gonna free the crippled god, and if she just meant, we're gonna kill him the whole time, and she didn't say that, I'm gonna be fucking livid.
Would be really funny though. Really funny.
Okay, everybody. That's going to be it for us today. Please tune into the Malazan stream of the Fallen. AJ will tell you a little bit more about that after the credits. But in short, on July 22nd, we're live streaming for 10 hours to raise funds for adult literacy. Tune in. If you don't support adult literacy programs in the US, and you don't support adults trying to learn how to read. Okay, that is on you if you don't tune into the stream. Just saying, okay? I just want to make that very clear.
And that means you're a bad person.
And this is a podcast about compassion.
And we do
100%.
And we personally do hold those opinions and values to heart. So you can, I've meant every single word I've said on this show. Okay?
All right, now jokes aside, please tune in. It's a good cause, and we I think it's going to be a fun time. And then thank you to my co-host, Josh. Great episode. Thanks for carrying it. And I am so excited because in 10 days, the 4 of us will be together in person to discuss the ending of the entire series, the ending of the 10th book, as we'll wrap up the 10th very big book.
The day after this episode comes out, we will be recording.
Yeah, baby.
That's fun.
When I say come, you say passion.
Whoa,
come.
Wait, it's Josh's. It's Josh's come.
I'm just so hyped up. I'm so sorry, Josh. I didn't mean to take it from you.
Last time
he took Josh's come. I can't believe it.
Okay, when I...
Yeah, Josh. I don't want to snake that from you.
No, it's okay. When I say come, you say passion. Come.
Passion. Hello, everybody. Producer AJ here, about to finish reading the Malazan Book of the Fallen, Book 10, The Crippled God by Stephen Erickson. Quick reminder to subscribe to our YouTube if you're not, so you don't miss the Stream of the Fallen on July 22nd. Also, we are officially opening up our mailbag for the Dust of Dreams and Crippled God mailbag / wrap-up episode. More details about that are in the show notes. We will be taking mail until June 25th. Moving on, thank you so much for listening to this episode of the podcast. If you'd like to give us your thoughts or feelings about this or any of our episodes, you can always email us 10verybigbooks@gmail.com, tweet us at 10verybigbooks, or you can head on over to our Discord, bit.ly/VBB Discord. That's capital V, capital B, capital B, capital D, Discord. That link will also be in the show notes. Thank you to all of our wonderful patrons over on Patreon. If you'd like to financially support the show, you can head on over to patreon.com/10verybigbooks. That link and all the other links are also in the show notes. And as always, thank you so very much to Dan Gezerk for making our spectacular cover art. You can follow him on Twitter at @A_W_DanG for the hottest submarine meme takes. Thank you as well to resident 52 card pickup champion Scout Wilkinson for the special art she is providing for this season. You can follow her on Twitter at HumbleGoat and on Ko-fi at ko-fi.co/HumbleGoat. And of course, the wonderful music in today's episode, including the remixed intro and outro track, is by the one, the only Amaranthan from his album Simulant Rain, which you can find along with his other music on bandcamp.com. Links to all of their pages will be in the show notes, and 10 Very Big Books will be back in 2 weeks on July 7th, talking about the end of The Crippled God, chapters 23, 24, and both, there are 2 of them, both epilogues. I seriously can't believe it. I'll talk to you then, and thank you so much for listening, really.
AJ, have you seen that show? It's like the guy on the show.
We started watching Carnival Row.
AJ, it's just like the guy on Carnival Row.
Got Cara Delevingne. She's cool.
Orlando Bloom.
Orlando Bloom is really committed to this bit. Guys, I learned the craziest Lord of the Rings fact today that I did not know at all.
Okay.
Which is that the Fellowship of the Ring, that meeting in Rivendell, is not planned. I've never read the book. I read the book when I was in like 7th grade, but I didn't comprehend it. And all of the people who are at that meeting are all at Rivendell for wildly different reasons. And then they go, well, we're all here. I guess we may as well talk about this ring that showed up. Had no idea.